Well, it's an early start to, what day is it? December 27th, right? 27th of December. We had to get up early. Duntroon, Ontario is a good hour and 40, by the way. I don't think it's an hour and a half. Hour and 40 to where our house is in Guelph. Now I had to make my way back to Guelph quick, get my suit on. I can't go to Mohawk with the horses today. They've canceled training at Mohawk. So we're going to do a little training at First Line Training Center. I might be wearing my glasses too. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. So we will head over to First Line Training Center. Three small sets of 2-year-olds turning 3. A lot of people said, are the babies going? I left that up to James if the babies were going today. I had a number of things that I have to take care of this morning also while I'm in Ontario. So I have relegated myself to 2-year-olds turning 3 training today. The reason being, it's nice to get updates on the horses. I want a fresh set of eyes on them. I want to see them myself. And I was going to get a real good look at them at Mohawk, but unfortunately that is not possible today. So we'll stretch them out a little bit and train them today at First Line Training Center. As I said, I'll try to remember those glasses. I did bring them home with me, and we'll be able to give you guys a little bit of a view, at least from my vantage point, of how the horses are training. There'll be 8 of them going, 2 sets of 3 and a set of 2. I wanted Love, Sensation, and Sweet Lake to go last. I feel that those guys are pretty well getting close to ready to go, and I wanted to get a feel for how they looked. Now, yesterday I could have brought you a video, but we had a lot going on. Amy's mom and her sister, we were over at her sister's place yesterday for the last 2 days. We were a lot of fun. We got to watch football on Christmas Day. We got to watch the Canada Juniors is what goes on a lot in Canada, especially Ontario for sure. I know my brothers were watching, my parents were watching. It's a big thing. I think it's still big in the U.S., right? They have it in Minnesota. The U.S. team won it last year, maybe the last 2 years, I think. But Canada won yesterday. So did the U.S. Who was the other team that won? Sweden won, I think, right? All 3 of them won yesterday. Finland won too. Oh. So all those teams won yesterday. They're moving on. I don't watch a ton of hockey. I know my brothers, 4 of my brothers definitely do. I don't watch a ton of hockey, but definitely watch the World Juniors at Christmas time. So as we get closer to the barn, I wanted to recap what took place yesterday. We had a lot of racing. I couldn't really do a recap in the middle of the day because it was spanned from 12:45 all the way to 8 o'clock at night. So I kind of had to wait it out, and I figured I would do an update video for you on my way back to Guelph. Now, we started off our day really well, and we ended our day really well. Some mixed finishes in between, and the races were canceled, obviously, for those of you who watched the races. At Mohawk yesterday, the races were canceled on Boxing Day. I'm not really sure the weather they got up here. I saw some people griping on Facebook later in the day yesterday, so I don't really think they got the weather they thought they were going to get. But the most important thing, when you're going to start the races early, you have to protect those Lasix horses and people on the roads, right? You don't want people traveling there in a blizzard and then canceling the races after they've already got there. So decisions have to be made early, and I can't say that they made the right one or the wrong one, but I'm glad at least they made it early enough. Now for us, our earliest race was Time Is On My Side. He was the first race for us yesterday. He was a small field of 5. And that horse that he beat's a good horse. I didn't know how he'd be when he got in behind him, but halfway down the lane he was gathering up speed and put away Pallone. The horse race, very, very good. 51-1 on a real muddy day. Was a good mile for Time Is On My Side. I was pretty happy with the way he raced yesterday. Captain Incredible, you could tell in the last turn, Dave had told Tim after, he said, I really wish I had waited till at least halfway around the last turn to get him moving. I got him fired up going into the turn. He'd give his knee a couple of wraps in the turn. He'd get out of gear and lost all his momentum and ended up 6th. Looked to me like he was probably going to be 2nd or 3rd. Now, I don't think he was going to win, but luckily he was going to be 2nd or 3rd before he moved him. But this is part and parcel of what's going on with him right now. He's kind of scrubbing on those knees a little bit. I told Tim, I'm going to make a little change. I'm going to send him down to Dover. Just a different surface, a different track, and see how he races. We know the horse has speed, but he's not going to be able to overcome that interference. And I know somebody said yesterday, well, why don't we send him to Mohawk? We could. Could send him Mohawk, but he's going to pace 50-51 there every week also. I wanted to put him in a place that made the most sense. It's not like he can't get around to 5/8. He won multiple times at the Meadows this year. I think it's a combination of the corks and the track. They're probably driving him up into that knee. And quite frankly, if it's going to be a problem moving forward, we simply rest him for a month, bring him back, and the corks will be off. I know a lot of people in the barn are like, well, why is Captain Incredible, wouldn't it make more sense just to move him? I suppose so. I don't have much interest in just turning my back on the horse after we have so much into him. And he is a talented animal. I mean, every race except for his last 3, the horse has been fairly productive in his life. And his 3-year-old season has been pretty good. If you didn't know what we paid for him, you say he's a very, very nice horse. He is. Just has not even come close to meeting his expectations yet. And that's what happens when you buy expensive horses. So Captain Incredible has not got there yet. Time is on my side. Was one of the first horses we ever paid quite a bit of money for also. Less than Captain, but nevertheless quite a bit of money. One worked out, one did not, and we'll see if we can get Captain Incredible rolling in 2026. But we are going to start that in the state of Delaware. So for all my partners out there that are owners of Captain Incredible, you're going to have to look into getting your, I guess if you have 5% or over 4%, you're going to have to look at getting a Delaware license if you wouldn't mind. We'll probably start racing him the first or second week in January. Woodmere Betcha, the race is being canceled here. Didn't get to race in the final of the Niagara Series. I'm not sure when they'll race that. I'm sure it will be in the first draw available. 3 Point Blue Chip actually looked terrible yesterday. I don't know whether it was the cork or no cork or what it was, but he looked dreadful in the turns yesterday, and that is not how 3 Point Blue Chip needs to look. And certainly not blaming Justin or Tim. It's just mechanics. We need to work harder on getting this guy good. His next start will be in the 16 to 22 claimer at the Meadows, but he needs to get quite a few of those wrinkles ironed out before we start winning races with him in there. I suspect it shouldn't be a hard, just a hop, skip, and a jump back to where he was. I don't really know why he looked so poor yesterday, but we'll look to alleviate that as soon as we can. Salzbrook Ian, I got a message from Brady Jensen either late last night or early this morning. He was on my phone saying, I'm really sorry, I just saw this. I told him, bring him into the gate easy. He crossfires a little bit, just watch him. And honestly, I don't think anything I wrote to him, if he had saw it before the race, would have helped him in any way. He thought that, if he moved him down the backstretch, he'd do a lot better. Clearly, a number of things to me were found yesterday with Salzbrook Ian. We made the shoeing adjustments that I wanted to. Tim and I had talked about. Tim thought the horse warmed up good. It has to be his front feet, because we made some significant changes to his back feet, and it didn't seem to help at all. And if you're going to box a horse up and he's going to crossfire, 8 times out of 10, it is their front feet. And him getting rough yesterday, and again, the poor bugger's just not had a good track to race on in like a month. It's either rock hard or muddy or terrible. This is 2 times he made a break in the absolute slop. So I think when it pertains to Salzbrook Ian, I think that it's as simple as this. The horse just needs a little bit of help in his front feet. I had thought that maybe we go to a set of flip-flops on him up front instead. We went just for a normal shoe, thinking that the way we shot him behind would be most helpful. That wasn't the case at all. So we need to help those front feet. And I just...
You're going left after this bridge.
I'm going left after the bridge? Why does that feel wrong? Feels like we should be going that way. Okay. No, that's fine. Right here? Left right here? So, Salzbrook Ian, to me, yesterday was frustrating, but the only thing it cemented in my mind is that it absolutely 100%, or at least the biggest portion of his mechanical issues right now, come from his front feet, and we need to work on that. The rest of the evening actually was pretty good. Greatest ending. Hadn't raced in 3 weeks almost. 3 wide, 4 wide down the backstretch. Got out of gear, got on top of a wheel, it looks like, when he went to move him. Lost his momentum, got his momentum back, was 4 deep out of the last turn, and ended up a decent third. I would say if he came out of that race good, which I suspect he did. I haven't heard from anybody today. If he came out of that race good, then greatest ending, I would suspect, will be better next week. Nassau looked like he was going to be second. Tyler drove good. I said, you're going to have to drive him conservative until he comes back to life. To me, it looked like he's trotting the turns good. In the straightaways, he was a little bit soft, which a little odd. But he didn't look sore or hikey or anything like that. He just looked to me like in the turns. Now, maybe that was because everybody else was kind of slowing down in the turns and he had that even Steven one kind of speed to him. That's possible. But to me, I think it's just the exact same thing I just said. You just got to keep rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's not like he's not racing for good money right now. So until he comes around and starts racing a lot better, which I suspect he will, then we just need to keep putting him in a good place to do good things. And that's exactly what Tyler did last night. Oh, he's driving gorgeous package tonight, so I hope he brings the same gloves with him. And then to finish off the night was Nassau. You know, bookend winners yesterday, as I said.
It wasn't Nassau.
Or not Nassau, sorry, Blue Ventura. Easy. Blue Ventura raced great last night. Just shorter field, but 58 over that track was a heck of a mile. Just to put it in perspective, Nassau is certainly not a killer. He trotted right around 2.4, 2.5, and Blue Ventura went 58.2. So a big mile from him. Unfortunately, it has posed now a problem. That was his 7th win last night. So there's no more racing for him available at Northfield Park. Dayton is an option, but I suspect we'll probably go fishing with him now and put him on the open market in the next sale, which isn't until January the 12th or January the 14th or something like that in the new year with Preferred. We'll likely race him once in Dayton until then, but I think, as I hoped, we brought him back. The horse raced well, but has got himself into that 7th win, which is a problem for the class and for the track that we're at. So we'll try him probably once at Dayton. I don't know how that will go. I'm certainly not going to say he's not good enough, but he is going to have to step up his game. They're quite a bit deeper in that class in Dayton than they are. It's a non-winners at 10. And quite a bit deeper in Dayton than they are here at Northfield Park. So with that, a little bit of a boring update, but I got a lot in my mind today. I'll give you guys an update of how things went with the training. I will try to remember to bring those glasses over with me, and we will get you guys some good video of the 3 sets of trainers. I believe they are. I wanted to go with Love Sensation. What else did I hit myself on? Do you remember? Love Sensation. I'm not sure now, but I will tell you all about it when I'm done with Amy and James and Johnny and Dominic and Harry at the track here in just a little while. So for now, I'm going to let you go. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. It was a great Christmas. We had a lot of fun, didn't we? A lot of fun at Jenna and Matt's. All the kids were happy. We're all having a little nap right now. But just a great Christmas 2026, and I hope 2025, and I hope that you guys had a wonderful Christmas also. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you all very soon. To all my partners with Gorgeous Package, good luck tonight. Have a wonderful Saturday.